So some of you may not know this, but in addition to doing this channel, I also own my own photography business and I also design jewelry. Well, one of the most popular items that I sell in my jewelry business is the elastic beaded bracelet. So today I'm going to show you how to make your very own beaded elastic bracelet. So there are a few things that you're going to need today. The most important things, obviously, you're going to need some stretchy bead cord, and I'm going to be using 1mm cord because it makes it really nice and strong, and the beads that I'm using today have a larger hole, and so the 1mm will go in very easily. You're going to need some GS Hypo Cement to make sure that we get this nice and secure. Some flush mount cutters, or you can use scissors if you don't have any of these. We've got our bead board to design on. Again, you don't have to have a bead board. I just find that they're really nice and convenient, especially if I'm laying out a project. It really helps me visualize how this is going to turn out. And then you're going to need what's called a bead bug. Now, a bead bug, you'll see there's got this little spring down here and little clips, and what this is going to do is this is going to help. You're going to put this at the end of your cording, and as you're putting your beads on, it's going to keep your beads from falling off and going everywhere. This thing is a lifesaver. So I've got these. And then, of course, you're going to need your beads. Now, what we're going to be working with today are some recycled glass beads. So these beads are actually, they originate from Africa, and what's really neat about these is that they use a lot of times recycled soda bottles or just recycled glass, period. And I've seen some videos of these made with termite mounds, and they create a chimney of sorts out of this termite mound, and they will place the glass into it and it will melt, and then they use these long sticks to kind of turn it and to create the hole in the center. So they're not perfectly round and smooth, which is one of the things that I think is so beautiful about them, that they aren't perfect. But the colors are beautiful. You get this really nice kind of matte finish to them, and they're really gorgeous. And I'll link some similar beads to these in the description below. And they come in all different shapes and sizes. So you've got these that look kind of like donuts that are really beautiful. And these are a little bit more opaque, and then we have some that are more translucent. But you guys can just choose whatever beads that you want. This is just one of my biggest sellers. Everybody loves the African recycled glass beads, and so that's what I'm gonna make my bracelet with today. So I'm gonna be making 2 bracelets today, and these bracelets I'm actually going to give away. So to one lucky commenter, so just make sure you leave a comment below, and then you'll be in the running to win one of these bracelets. All right, so let's get started. So one thing I like to do first is I like to kind of put an assortment of beads that I'm thinking about working with, just kind of around the perimeter of the board. And that just helps me see everything out, and it gives me a better idea of what colors are going to work together. So I'm going to start with this color over here because I just love this baby blue with the yellow and red. And I'm going to figure out how I want the layout of my bracelet to go. So now I already have a problem here because I only have 4 of my dark blues. I don't ever want to have an even number of beads on the side that's going to be kind of my focal point. So I'm going to put, there you go, I'll put a red one in there. And that'll just kind of help make that stand out even more. Now these little donut kind of beads are great as little spacers, and they'll kind of divide up my design. Oh good, I was worried for a second I didn't have enough of these. So you just kind of play around with it. See, this is why I love the bead board, because I can lay everything out, get an idea of how it looks, and I know that this is all going to fit. Yeah, I kind of like that. Now let's see, maybe not something that's not quite so bold, although I do love a big bright statement piece. Let's go for some subtle colors. I've got a little bit larger yellow there. This might be a little too boring. No, I don't like the... See how that one is so much bigger than the other one? I'm not a big fan of that. There we go. I like those broken. Oh, we need... We might need one more bead on this one. Let's see if I have any more of those. Aha! I do. Okay, I kind of like that. Okay, cute. So I've got my two designs here, and now what we're going to do is we are going to string these up, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to measure out my cording right here, and all I'm doing is I really am just going to go the length of this board, and that will be enough elastic. I'm going to cut that off. Now this is key. Before you start stringing anything, you need to stretch this fabric a little bit, because if you don't do any pre-stretching with this, what's going to happen is your bracelet is going to stretch, and then it's not going to be as tight, and you're not going to like that. So I'm going to use my little bead bug here, and all you do is when you squeeze it, you're just going to press that elastic into it and pull this through. Now, there it is. It's attached to the end. And so now as I string the beads onto my bracelet, I don't have to worry about it falling off. Now, one thing I like to do when I'm stringing my bracelet is I like to start with my middle bead. So whatever it is going to be my focal point bead, that's the one I'm going to start with. And the reason is because when we get to the end, it's going to be where we make the knot, and I'm going to hide that knot inside that bead. And then from here, I'm just going to string these on. Okay, so at this point, what you're going to do is you're going to want to bring these together and just pinch them where they would be, and then slide it over your wrist and see how that's going to fit. And at this point, this is when you're going to know, do I need to add an extra bead? Is this going to fit okay? And so for this one, this is going to fit just fine. All right. So I'm going to take my little bead bug off, and now I'm going to tie my knot. So the first knot that I'm going to do is I'm just going to cross over, and it's going to be like you were tying your shoes. And you're just going to pull this tight, and I don't want to go so tight that I cram all of my beads together. Now the next one, you're going to wrap around and you're going to go back through the hole, but at this point, before you would pull it tight again, you're gonna go back through another time. And this is a surgeon's knot. And so, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is what it's gonna look like. And then we're gonna pull this tight. Now I like to get close to that knot and pull, and then I like to come down here to my bracelet and tighten on that side, and again, tighten here, okay? At this point, if you're thinking, oh my gosh, what if I pull this so tight that I end up breaking it? Well, you would rather break it now than break it later. So don't be afraid to tug on it, but I mean, you don't have to go completely crazy on it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually do another surgeon's knot. So we're going to go over, go through the hole, go through that hole one more time, and pull it tight. And there's our bracelet. So what we're going to do, before we cut these strings, I'm going to use those strings to hold this. So I'm going to pull this. So you see that little knot right there? That is what we're going to need to put the glue on. So I'm going to take my cement, and you'll see it has this really fine little point right there. Looks almost like a little needle. And careful not to squeeze it too tight, otherwise this glue will come out very quickly. So I barely add any pressure. And you're just going to put glue right around that knot and set that to the side. And then I always just blow on this. And now I'm going to snip these little ends right there. And I'm going to move this knot to the middle of that red bead, so that whatever my little focal point bead is, that's where I'm going to hide my knot. So now I have a completed bracelet. Now I will tell you, when you put these bracelets on, and you probably know this, but it's just better to slide it up your wrist. And there it is. My recycled glass bead bracelet. All right, so now I'm going to work on the next one. I've decided to give away 3 bracelets instead of just the 2. So be sure to comment below to be in the running to win one of these bracelets. Hey guys, I hope you had fun making the beaded elastic bracelets today. I'll put everything down in the description below so you can get some of these supplies to make your very own. Also, if you have not had a chance to subscribe yet, go ahead and hit that button and be sure to click that bell icon so you'll be notified when I upload a new video. Thank you so much for joining me. Oh, also, don't forget, comment so that you can be in the running to win one of the bracelets. I hope you guys had a fun time, and I hope you have a wonderful crafternoon. Bye.